Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So I actually haven't uploaded to this channel in 4 or 5 years now, which is absolutely crazy. And I just woke up today and was like, I want to start making makeup videos, so here we are. If you are here on my channel from that long ago, wow, thank you so much for being with me today. So today I am doing this Ariel makeup look and I'm going to be showing you all how to do it. So if you are interested in that, then just keep on watching. So let's just dive right on in. So first things first, I have to turn these brown eyes blue. So I'm going to be using Air Optics colors in Brilliant Blue color contacts. And so yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and struggle to put those in. So enjoy watching my struggle. Oh wow, first try! Let's see if the other one goes as smoothly. Not quite as smoothly. Let's try again. Okay, second try. Not bad. So yeah, these contacts I actually got through my optomologist? What's the difference? I don't know. But I got them through the eye doctor. And they're pretty comfortable and they last me a while. So yeah, that is where I got them. Now we will move on to primer. I'm using the Benefit Professional Primer. This is my favorite primer, but it's super expensive, so I tend to just get the minis and make them last as long as possible. Okay, now that English, am I right? Okay, now that my face is all primed, I'm gonna move on to foundation. I'm going to be using Too Faced Born This Way foundation in Swan. And as you can tell, it's almost out. She's struggling a little bit, like me. So, go ahead and put this on. Okay, my foundation is all blended, so now time for concealer. I'm going to be using Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Fair, and this is also almost out. I really need to restock my makeup, guys. Okay, now that I've applied that pretty much all over my face, I love the coverage of Tarte Shape Tape. I'm gonna go ahead and blend it out. Okay, and now that I look like literal snow, we're gonna move on to the eyebrows. One of the biggest struggles, if you have dark hair and you play like blonde princesses or redheaded princesses, can oftentimes be getting your dark eyebrows light enough or the shade that you need them to be. So for Ariel, obviously I'm trying to make them a little more red. Now hers don't have to be super light or anything, but I do want kind of the auburn shade to be picked up. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear squeaky toys in the background. That is my sweet puppy just having a good time in there. So first things first for the eyebrows, what I'm gonna do is I am going to conceal them a little bit. I'm gonna put Shape Tape over top. And they don't have to be like completely covered or anything, but this just kind of helps to lighten them up and give a base for us to go over with that red color. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend that on there, and I look like a crazy person right now. So yeah, as you can see, they're not like completely invisible or anything, but they're definitely lighter than they were. So now I'm going to be taking this NYX, I think it's a lip pencil. I've had the most success with lip pencils for doing eyebrow colors for princesses. I'm trying to find the shade that this is. This is Rose Brown. It is kind of a red. I would honestly recommend getting one that is a little more red for Ariel. I just don't have one with me at the moment. This is what I had, so I'm gonna use it, and I've used it before, so I know it looks okay, but I would recommend a little more of a red than this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my brows, and be right back. Okay, one down. Also, you can see that the shape is definitely far from perfect. So I do that, and it's really hard to get a perfect shape with one of these. So I just go ahead and fill it in, make sure it's all covered, and then I go back and carve it out with concealer to the shape that I want it. So I'll go ahead and do the other one. Yeesh, that one looks rough, but I'm gonna clean it up, so it's gonna be okay. Don't worry, I promise. Moving on, I'm going to go ahead and conceal and carve out the brows because right now, quite frankly, they look atrocious. So I'm gonna use my Shape Tape. Okay, so that took forever. But anyways, where some concealer got over the red part of the eyebrows, I'm gonna go ahead and take a small brush and some red eyeshadow. I'm gonna be using it from the Modern Renaissance palette in the shade Red Ochre, and I'm just gonna pop that over top of some of the patchy spots of the eyebrows. Okay, so I think brows are officially done. They aren't perfect, but they are definitely red. So that's your main thing, and then just get the shape as your natural brows or however you want them to be for your character. So brows are definitely the longest part. Now we're gonna move on to the eyeshadow. I'm gonna kind of be doing like a mix of the sunset kind of parks look and a more natural look. I'm honestly just gonna play around and see what I come up with. But to prime my eyelids, I'm going to be using Shape Tape once again. I'm telling you, this is a miracle product. So I'm gonna put that on my eyelids. And then for my eyeshadow, I am going to be using the Handy Dandy Tape Hack. Now, yes, I can do a nice winged liner and eyeshadow without it, but if it saves time and makes it more precise, I'm just kind of like, you know, why not? If you don't want to use tape on your face, you don't have to, but I like to. I think it just helps things out and speeds things up a little bit. So now that all this is patted onto my eyelids, I'm going to take some tape and I'm going to try to put it as evenly as possible on my eyes. Okay. Okay, so I think that's pretty even. So I'm going to start out by using the Too Faced Natural Love palette, and you can use any palettes you have that have similar shades to these. This is just what I have. So I'm going to be using the color Spotlight, which is kind of a yellow toned, just base, sort of. So I'm just gonna be applying that all over with a fluffy brush. Okay, so next I'm going to be taking ColourPop's Yes Please palette. This has a lot of those really good kind of sunset shades in it that you might use. My palette is super dirty. All of them are. Sorry about that. But I'm going to be taking kind of a fluffy crease brush, and I'm going to start with this shade right here. They don't have names, but it's kind of this little peachy shade. And be cautious when using this palette because the colors are so much more pigmented than you would expect them to be. Like, I have on a shade on here that's darker than this actual shade is, the yellow is, over this peach shade, but it still shows up very well. So I'm just gonna apply that all over, kind of. I'm not gonna be super precise because I'm going to be putting things on over top of it anyways. So even a little on the lid won't hurt. Okay, next I'm going to be taking the bright yellow shade in the Yes Please palette, and I'm going to mainly be focusing this on the outer rim, outer crease. I don't know, above the crease. So I have the yellow, I'm gonna pop it on. Okay, the yellow is on there. My light just went off, turn that back on. And so now I'm gonna be taking a little bit of this orangey shade, and this shade is very pigmented. So I'm just going in with a small brush and I'm gonna put it kind of in the crease a little bit. Alright, so now that that is done, I'm going to be going into my Modern Renaissance palette again, and I'm going to be using that same red ochre shade. And I'm just going to put that kind of in the outer corner and really blend it in because it is darker than so much of these others, but it tones it down from being such a neon look to having a little more depth to it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quick. Alright, so now I am going to take a little bit more Shape Tape. Wow, I think I might have a problem, guys. And I'm going to be putting it on the lid. I like the lid to honestly be pretty bare and then transition out to all these colors. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that on and do what I need to do in order to blend it all together. So now over top of that Shape Tape base, I'm gonna go back in with more of the neutral shades from the Yes Please palette, like this one and maybe even a little bit of this one, just to help blend it all together. And I'm gonna put that over top of the Shape Tape. Alright, so this is what I've come up with. It is definitely more the sunset look. I'm gonna blend this really quick. Definitely more in line with the sunset look. But I think it looks really good on Ariel, and it's at least similar to what she wears in the parks, I think, last time I checked. So now onto eyeliner. I'm gonna go ahead and do a slight wing, and I will be right back. I guess you could say I'm really winging this makeup look. I apologize, that was dumb. Alright, so those are the wings. I wouldn't say they are perfectly even, but I think they are decent. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little shadow under the eye. I personally don't like putting eyeliner under my lower lash line. If you do, go for it. But for me, I think it just looks a little harsh. So I'm gonna go in with red ochre and kind of shade under the lower lash line a little bit. And then I'll go in with a little bit of a darker shade to help it pop a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So now that that is done, I'm going to move on to my face and we'll come back to lashes a little later. So I'm going to do some light contour. I'm going to be using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I hope I said that right. I probably didn't. But I'm just going to very lightly contour, you know, under my cheekbones, a little bit on my nose and my forehead. Nothing too drastic, just to add a little bit of dimension to my face, I guess. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, and now because I always contour it super sloppily, I like to take my foundation brush and just kind of blend everything together a little bit. Now that that's done, we're going to jump right into blush. I'm using Wet n Wild's Mellow Wine blush. And the rule of thumb for princessing is if you don't look like a clown from so much blush, you're doing it wrong. Because while it may look like a ton, after you put the wig on and you get the whole costume on, it all kind of, I guess, blends together. It just doesn't look as bad once you have the wig on. So you do want to look a little bit crazy as far as your blush at first, but trust me, it won't look awful. And if it does, you can always tone it down a little bit down the road. So just, I really like to go for it with the blush. So here we go. Do you see what I mean about looking crazy? So I am going to blend that a little bit. I'm not just gonna leave it so harsh in there, but I am even going to add just a little bit to the tip of my nose. I'm not even gonna dip in the blush. I'm just gonna use what's left over on the brush on the tip of my nose. And you can do this if you want to. If you don't want to, that's okay. Some people like it, some people don't. I personally think it gives a cute little button nose look. Depending on your character too. You don't want it for every character, but I think Ariel is one of those that can get away with it. Ariel, Anna, Rapunzel, they all kind of fall into that category a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend out the blush. Wow, all these words, I just can't. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. See, tone down just a tiny bit. I don't look as crazy as before. Still kind of crazy, but whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my ColourPop Flexitarian highlight that is very dead. As you can tell, I love this highlight, but there's still some in there, so I have to use every last little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this to my cheekbones and the tip of my nose with my fingers, and then I'm going to highlight a little bit in the inner corners of my eyes. Alright, and that's it for the face. Now I am going to add lashes and just kind of clean everything up a little bit that I think that needs it. Like, I've noticed some spots on my eyebrows that I want to clean up some, and just blending everything all together. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I will be right back.
So I just want to say while this is playing that somehow the video of me putting on the lipstick got lost somewhere along the way, but I used the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit in Give Me Mocha. So now it is going to go ahead and show the final look.
So this is the final look. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful to you. Please let me know what you think. Let me know if you would like me to do more characters in the future. I can do Anna, Elsa, Rapunzel. Just let me know who you would like to see, and I will try to make it happen. This is my first makeup tutorial, so let me know what you think of it. And please excuse my dog walking around all over the place in the background. Anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this video here, but please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.